More Than Family is a family drama comedy that follows To-il, a woman in her early 20s who accidentally gets pregnant and decides to keep the baby and marry her even younger boyfriend. 5 months later, they reveal the pregnancy to their families, and upon receiving mixed reactions, To-il finds herself on a journey of self-discovery as she returns to her hometown in search of her estranged birth father and begins to reflect on how she was raised. After all, To-il is still a young woman, so there's things that she hasn't really had to think about until she's preparing to become a mother herself. And that's what the movie opens its doors to, as we get some nice and introspective flashbacks of key moments from her childhood that she'll go on to sort of reevaluate through a more mature understanding. For example, when she was a child, her parents divorced and her mother went on to remarry. So we'll see moments like the first time To-il's mother has to try and explain to her young daughter why her dad isn't going to be around anymore. Or when she'll go on to introduce To-il to what would later become her new stepdad. It's a pretty hard thing for a child to properly comprehend, especially when she's now being asked to call this other man her dad. But through this new lens, To-il will also see how hard these moments were for her mother and stepdad. And as To-il looks back on these memories, it not only continues to build up on the established family dynamic, but it also contributes to some of the more touching parts of the movie, which effectively offers a fresh perspective on the ideas and complexities of being raised in what may be considered a broken or messed up family. And that's really what this movie is about. To-il being pregnant is more of a push for her character to go down this path, and it's really nice to see that this is where the focus is at, rather than the potentially more stressful aspects that are typically shown in a movie about a young, pregnant woman. So with that in mind, the movie ends up being a lot more lighthearted than I was expecting, and I was very pleasantly surprised to see this direction, as it feels like quite a youthful approach to telling this story while still remaining mature and thoughtful, as well as being consistently funny and entertaining, with the more humorous parts often stemming from this awkward feeling mixed into the comical scenarios. Like how To-il approaches several different men who she believes may be her birth father.
뭐? 씨까지 뿌렸나? 아니에요. 그런 게 아니에요.
뭐라카노? 내 좀 전에 처음 만났다.
As well as some of the quirky character actions, like when To-il breaks the news to her parents that she's 5 months pregnant by presenting them with a PowerPoint presentation to explain her plan of action. It's a pretty fun direction overall, and I really liked how director Choi Ha-Na presents this scenario and atmosphere in a way that's both very engaging and enjoyable to watch, while nicely balancing the drama and comedy alongside a rather sensible tone that highlights the substance and values of the story. It's pretty impressive considering this is her directorial debut, but the biggest strengths of the movie, in addition to her direction, is just how well written the story, dialogue, and characters are, as well as how the portrayals from Jung Soo-Jung, Jang Hye-Jin, Choi Deok-Moon, and the rest of the cast make these characters feel a lot more human and natural through the energy they bring with their performances. And the combination and execution of all these components allows the movie to quickly show its charm while remaining focused on a meaningful story about understanding and appreciating the hardships of parenthood, especially in relation to what's perceived as a broken family. Honestly, I have nothing but positive things to say about this movie. I thought Choi Ha-Na's writing and direction was fantastic, the story was very nice, the entertainment value was great, the performances from the whole cast and the family dynamic is fun and down to earth, and I just really enjoyed this movie overall. I wasn't really sure what to expect going into this, but I was pleasantly surprised, and it instantly became one of my favorite Korean movies of 2020. So I would highly recommend watching this movie, and it's currently available to stream for free on Asian Crush.